Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And today what we're going to be talking about is actually something that I've been asked about a good bit and that I myself am very interested in. And that question is, what's the first bike I'm going to buy in America? Now, I don't know is the answer, but I do definitely have my eye on a couple of bikes that I suppose people probably would not expect. A lot of people have like insta assumed I'm going to get a Harley because it's America. I probably won't, to be honest. Just not because I don't like them. I do hope to own a Harley one day. It's just because they're really expensive. Even in America, in comparison to, you know, other bikes, they're still very, very expensive. And, you know, for me, one of the things I want or need, or however you want to put it, is I kind of want something like reliable that doesn't use a huge amount of fuel in and out to work. Because I do think, you know, I'm going to mostly be commuting, as I do now, on a bike. At least for the first while anyway, until I can afford a car as well as a bike. You know, because obviously I'll get Toaster a car, well, we will buy a car for the familia. Oh, look at that view. Stunning. Stunning. But, you know, the first thing I kind of want is a bike. We'll have the family car and then I can have a bike. So, you know, if you watch the channel a long time, you'll know that I do like my powerful machines, but I'm also pretty sensible about stuff, you know, like the CBF. It's pretty powerful. It can move. It's a quick bike. Anyone who thinks it isn't is wrong. It's fast. It can hold its own. And if you don't believe me, have a look at my track video on the CBF, or one of them. I did a few, I think. But that's kind of the thing that might surprise you, is that I'm not looking at getting a big fast buy first off. Ooh, that's nice. Very nice. No, the bike that I'm actually looking at primarily, oh, look at that view though. Oh. I will never ever get tired of views like that. Now, the bike that I'm looking at first is definitely a lot different to what I would be used to and what you'd probably be used to seeing me on. And that is a brand new KLR 650. So I'm going to talk about why. I know there's definitely some of my friends right now who are like, what? You know, they're watching this, well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but there's definitely some of them watching this who are like, what are you talking about, you lunatic? That is not 1/10 fast enough. But one of the bikes that I have liked most in recent years that I've gotten a quick spin on is one of my friends, also called Aiden, not the same person as buying this bike though. Is his 1996, I think, or 1998 Honda XR-V 750, the Africa Twin, the original one, which is a, you know, 750cc V-twin on carbs. It's not very powerful, but it can move, it can hold its own, and it would have, you know, 30 brake horsepower more than the KLR 650, but it's not really a bike I would ever ride fast. It's too mushy. It's too old style adventure. You know, that thing's made to be comfortable. It's made to go really, really far, but not very fast. And I kind of really like, you know, that theory. That like this is just comfy. This is just nice. I also really do like that though. Now, again, like if you know me, I'm not going to only have one bike, but the first bike, you know, the one I can afford first. I am seriously considering KLR 650. The whys, I suppose, you know, I have been binge watching KLR 650 content on YouTube recently. There's one guy I really like, Swanky Cat. I do like his channel. I also watched The Dork in the Road, but his answer to me, I don't know, he kind of sounded like he was calling me an idiot, so I was like, okay. Still like your stuff, still like his stuff, he probably won't ever see this, but he did kind of, his answer was kind of like, are you dumb? So, you know, a lot of other people might be like, well, why are you getting a kind of a slow adventure bike for the road? And that's kind of why is that Africa Twin. I mean, that Africa Twin, it's actually not a road bike. Like the newer Africa Twin, you could argue, is much more road bikey than adventure bikey. Thanks for not killing us, buddy. But that KLR 650, it's definitely kind of similar. But the thing I like about it is it's a big, tall, city-uppy bike, but I can also kind of explore off-roady sections, which I have never been able to do on any of my road bikes. You know, if I see a gravel track, I can't really go down it, you know, on the CBF. The CBF's ground clearance is too low. It has cast wheels. It might break them. It definitely will bottom out and break something. It's just not made for it. It's not a bike. It's not a bike you could do that with. So it's kind of like, you know, in Ireland that was never really a big problem because we don't have many trails you can just shoot off down here. It's not really a big thing here. But in America, in North Carolina, I've already looked up, there's plenty of trails and stuff, plenty. And you know, if I visit some of my friends, there's even more trails and stuff. Even if they're really light trails, you know, I'm not saying I want to go dirt biking down single tracks and stuff. That's not what I'd be doing. But you know, I go in and I buy a KLR 650 brand new. It costs me the same as like a good second-hand bike here. Well, a more expensive second-hand bike. You definitely don't need to spend that much. But it would be my first ever new bike. It would be my first ever bike that I have brand new, that I can take care of myself, that I can make all the changes I want myself. You know, you're not relying on someone else to look after the bike for you before you buy it. And I don't have to fix anything. It's new, you know, it's new. And really and truly, from what I see, the problems that those bikes have don't really seem like huge problems, you know. I think it's a kind of a mark of how durable that bike is, that the problems they have are like non-issues in my head, if that makes sense. You know, I see, you know, the common complaints, the common problems, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. Look at that, another tree-lined hillock, like a baby hill. It's cool though. And that's kind of why I'm like, yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. I can do that. You know, that's something I can play with. That's something I can do. And the other thing is, you know, it's a thumper, which is a bike I have not owned for the road. And I've heard it with like a nice exhaust on it, and it sounds fantastic. So, I mean, it's kind of like it's a win-win-win-win-win. And another thing that I really, really like about it, and that it's something I would like to give support to, is it's really simple. You know what I mean? You can buy it over in the States without ABS. The most complicated thing on it, just want to show Gregor this place. Good spot, good spot. I'll explain it to him later so he can come back here and go for a walk. This is a wind gap, and there's a nice little park in there that I have come out and walked around before. And there's also, like, you know, cool stuff near here, like the Dolman Portal Tomb and stuff. I will put it. I did a video. I'll put it up on screen. It's cool. But yeah, you know, I really like the fact that, and I know Kawasaki have kind of gotten shit for this as well, but it's something that I really like, is that bike is simple as mud. You know, it's a bike that they took off the market for a few years in order to put in, you know, fuel injection on there, but they didn't do much else. And to a lot of people that might be a failing, that might be a bad thing, but for me that's beautiful. You know, it's kind of the thing that I've talked about in so many videos, and that in a world of more complicated, more expensive bikes with more fancy electric gizmos, Kawasaki took the KLR back and went, nah, yeah, it works, let's just slap some fuel injection on it and sell it again. You know, they didn't add a huge amount to the price or whatever else. They didn't do anything crazy fancy. You know, even if you buy the adventure model, the crash bars aren't crash bars, and you know, if you do drop the bike, the lights that are on there probably get smashed, and the cases are kind of cheap and plasticky from the looks of it. But who cares? You know, the fact that you can get that model for like 1,000 more and still get it non-ABS, that's really cool. You know, you have the option then. If you want ABS, you can just pay for ABS. It's that simple. They give you the option. Now, I don't think I don't think that bike would be able to be released in Europe, unfortunately, because of Euro CAT rules, which kind of sucks, not gonna lie. I'd love to see more simple, affordable bikes like that here. I mean, if that was a bike that was available here and I was staying here, it is definitely something I would look at too. You know, yeah, you're not going to go anywhere fast. Yeah, its top speed is kind of miserable. And you know, if it was like a 65 brake horsepower thumper, if they managed to do that, that'd be really cool. But not at the cost of the reliability, not at the cost of the purchase cost. It's a really cool bike. You know, it's not that beautiful. It's not fast. Apparently it handles quite well. But it's just cool. You know, that's a bike you could load up and go whatever the hell distance you wanted. And the best part about it is you wouldn't ever really be encouraged to go on, like, what do they call them in America, freeways and interstates and stuff, because apparently the top comfortable speed to ride it at is about 70 miles an hour, which is around about, what, 110 kilometers an hour. And it's pretty slow, you know. That is pretty slow. But that's okay, you know. That's part of the beauty of it for me. I kind of like that, you know, because I am someone who, when I'm not obviously with people and stuff and not on camera, I tend to ride a bike kind of how a bike wants to be ridden. And anyone who rides faster bikes will get that. It's like they whisper to you. You know, this bike's actually quite nice to just cruise along on, probably because it's a big twin, and it's just like, yeah, no, I'll do whatever you want me to do. This is fine. But you know, if you're on like an inline 4 sports bike, and I know Hippodrones, and you know, he can attest to this when he's on his Gixxer, they are constantly in your ear, just like, you can go faster, it's fine. I'm only idling, you know. Oh, you can push more into this corner. And I don't know if you've ever ridden a slow bike, maybe you haven't if you're watching this, but riding a slow bike fast is so much fun, because you can kind of push on without ever thinking, oh, you know, I need to be looking at stuff, I might get in trouble here. It's just a bike you can actually use to way more of its potential. Most of us, when we're on the road, and if you're on an R1 or something, you're probably not using, you know, 30% of what that bike can do. You need like a MotoGP sized track to use what that bike can do, and even then you're still not anywhere close to 100, because you're not a MotoGP rider or a professional bike rider. You might be pretty good, you might be like, you know, on the track day you might be a hero, but you're still not using that bike to what it can do, to its ability, you know. It's just, oh, poor bird, you're just not. And that's kind of an attraction to it too, is that, you know, a huge thing I'm looking forward to is that when we do move to the US, Toaster, she wants to get a bike license and get a bike. And obviously when she starts, she's not going to be going out and, you know, flying through corners and going mad speeds. So it will be really nice if she gets like maybe a Rebel 300 or Rebel 500 to start off with, and then I can just poodle along with it on my KLR. You know, that's all of these thoughts have been in my head. You know, they're easy to maintain, they're durable as hell. It will last me, well, forever. If I buy it new, I'll probably just keep it till it dies. And in and out to work, I mean, they sip fuel. They're known to sip fuel once the engine's broken in. So yeah, that's kind of it's pretty much the only bike I've seriously been looking at buying brand new, because like essentially everywhere at the moment, used bike prices seem to be quite inflated in America as well as here and every other country on the planet probably. But buying new over there isn't, and it's not like you're buying new and paying 20 grand. You're buying new and paying like $6,500 to $7,500, which, I mean, last year in euro would have been like 6 grand. Now it's like, you know, equal. It's 1-to-1 now, sadly, because I was going to get like my money multiplied when I moved otherwise, but what can you do? That's life. You can't win them all. You cannot win them all. Not everything can go your way. And in fairness, in my life, I am lucky. I have a lot of things go my way, so I can't and won't complain. But yeah, you know, that's kind of where my thought process is at the moment. Nice bike. It's just that I'm like looking at, right, what can I afford? And in the used market, I don't really want to buy something until I kind of am settled and maybe have some tools got, and hopefully have a garage where I can actually work on something. And then, you know, if I do buy something like the KLR and pay X amount up front and then pay it off over the rest off over 2 years, I think that makes perfect sense. Because, you know, it's a bike, like I said, I would plan on keeping, and maybe even toast road ride it, because they're quite an easy bike to ride. You know, there's nothing fancy, nothing crazy on them. So, you know, that'd be another hope of mine. To put it in Italian speak, you know, it's a bike I'd keep in the family, huh? But you know, that's kind of, yeah, that's where my thought process is. So to be honest, I'm really interested to hear any of your opinions and thoughts on this. You know, I know I've already talked to one person who, I don't know, does he still watch the channel, but he used to watch the channel, and about, because he owns a KLR. I won't name him just because I never know that people want to be named in these things, so I won't name him. I'll be nice. Jay, I'll say Jay. That's who I'm talking about. Jay, if you hear this, it's you. And you know, it's just one of those things, because I would really like an adventure-y bike as my daily for comfort. You know, I'm a large person, so having something that was a little bit easier on the hips and knees on the daily would be really nice, which I know the KLR would be. I'd also still absolutely love an Africa Twin, so it's quite possible I'll see an Africa Twin used and pick that up or something. Who knows? Who knows? Obviously I'm going to have to get something cool anyway to fill my need for faster things. And to be honest, I would hope that I can try find another Falco, because like I said, I really like riding this bike. It's a lot of fun, it fits me well, and I really didn't want to have to sell it, but it just made sense to do so. So, you know, it is what it is. That's life. You can't keep them all. And to be honest, you know, I know it's probably in the title of this video, maybe it's one of the things that's beautiful about selling bikes. You know, selling bikes is never easy. It's never fun. You know, you probably don't want to. You know, most people never want to sell their bikes. But one thing that's good about it is you get to buy another one. You know, that's the nice part about selling a bike, is that if I hadn't sold this or whatever else, or if it made sense to ship this to America, etc., I would never have gotten into the mindset of I need to look for a new bike. I would never have started to look for a new bike. I would have never considered the KLR. I would have never watched far too many videos on the KLR and discovered people like Swanky Cat, etc. It's definitely been nice in a way, because usually when I'm looking at bikes, it's to add to the stable. You know, I haven't needed to sell a bike in a while, which has been a really privileged position to be in. To be able to just buy another bike and add it to my stable, you know, that's been really, really nice. So hopefully one day I can do that again and have another shed full of bikes. You know, and that's the other thing, is it's also the beauty of having multiples, that yeah, I'm selling the CBF and I've sold this, which is why I'm being careful on it today, by the way. If you're wondering why I'm not really pushing on it, it's because it is sold. It needs to get home in one piece, and it needs to be handed over to its new owner in one piece, as is right and fair. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think of the KLR. Let me know, do you think there's any other ones you prefer to see me on? But definitely one of the bike I have thought about most and done the most looking at, because I think I could afford it, and not have to figure out, you know, like the local bike scene, you know, are bikes in good condition when they're sold, etc., is the KLR. So yeah, let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments. Let me know you like it. Let me know what you think is cool. Let me know do you think it's too slow. Let me know do you think it's too ugly. I would really like to hear from you all and your opinions. But also don't worry, I do plan on getting also a fast bike, maybe another Falco, maybe something else, maybe a Tuono, maybe a Miele, I am very taken with this Aprilia Twin, so it's probably something I'm going to look at. But yeah, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. I really do appreciate all of the support you've given the channel over the last couple of years. And there are literally some of you there for like a long time, and thank you very much for sticking with the channel through the drier periods of videos and the more flush periods of videos. And yeah, let me know, is there any other bikes you think of that you can think of? Let me know what you think of the KLR, or do you think the same as the Dark on the Road, that I would be stupid to buy a bike like the KLR to primarily use probably in and out of work, but also for trips and stuff at a nice slow pace with a learner. Yeah, let me know all of the things, and until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew, how much are you gonna miss this twin sound? I am really gonna miss that twin sound, like a lot. It's so nice, and I'm gonna miss it. But I'm happy it's going to a good home. I'm happy it's going to a friend. But I do really like it. Nothing lasts forever, you know. And like I said, there are always more bikes in the bike ocean. Is that a phrase? It's a phrase now. There's always more bikes in the bike ocean. The ocean of bikes. The pool of... Yeah, you get what I mean. Are you going to miss this? I am going to miss that sound. I'm really going to miss that sound. It's so damn beautiful. Anyway, bye outro crew. Out of interest, how many people ride their bike along like this when they're in traffic? Elbow on the tank. There's another question for the outro crew. Yeah, it's actually quite comfortable. Probably not the safest thing in the world, but you know, who needs safety when you got bikes?